Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Shishima. Divine grace of the Vaishnav Arvind ISKCON Baby Chantaracharya Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Shishima. His divine Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namaskar Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Gauru Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Shri Shri Rasa Krishna Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Braja Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Samavita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Pramanande. All glorious assembled people, all glorious assembled, all glorious assembled, glorious assembled. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Kena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Dutta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sasvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishadanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Namaste Saraptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Pranamami Haripriya Vansha Kalpatarusya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Should I speak in English? Thank you very much that you are holding this house program. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was during the British time. He was also working for British East India Company related executives. They were his friends. They're talking of 1923 was now Bhaktivinoda Thakur even though held by Britishers, he was a very liberated soul. He has 9 children. But his treasure was so much appreciated by the Britishers that he was appointed a magistrate of Jagannath Puri. He is one of the pioneers to start preaching in the West. So during the time of Srila Prabhupada's appearance in 1896, he wrote Life and Precepts of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this small book was sent to McGill University in Canada and British Museum.
Here also, Maharaj. They found one in the Australian National University in Canberra.
Yeah, everywhere he tried to send. So, teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was virtually obscured in India. They know he is a bhakta at the maximum. To those who are coming from North India, West India. The life and precept of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a very deep study. We call it postgraduate study, which has been written through the diaries of recollections of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities and mission. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was requested because he was also participating in the his last Jagannath Puri, pastimes. And he was sent by Nityananda Prabhu to Vrindavan. How many of you have seen Vrindavan or been Vrindavan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Most of the Gujaratis would not know where Vrindavan is, where it is situated. But Prabhupada was the one who brought Vrindavan to the West. He was carrying Vrindavan in his heart. So, to further the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we call Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Narayan. In Kali Yuga, the Lord is not supposed to appear. There are no scheduled incarnations except at the end. At the end, Kalki can come. But who is going to wait for 427,000 years yet to come? We have spent only 5,000 years after the disappearance of Lord Shri Krishna. Kali Yuga started, but within 5,000 years, Kali Yuga made a big dent in the psyche of those who are coming from the Vedic culture. India. When we were not appreciating our own culture, the foreigners will come. Because they heard only, but they have not witnessed. So, Pluto was the spiritual master of Alexander the Great. When he wanted to conquer India, he said, if you ever conquer India, just give me 2 gifts. Bring a Brahman and a cow. Because these two are most revered. But Brahmanical culture in Kali Yuga will be completely gone case. But yet, because Lord Krishna came only for the welfare of these two. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. No third person. Jagat Hitaya. But this will be the base of the welfare of the entire universe. If you become of Brahman quality, Krishna explains. Even Bhagavatam says, Kala Shudra Sambhava. Everybody will be Shudra. No qualifications. But Karmana Jayate Tvicha. Janmana Jayate Shudra. karmana jayate dveja. So the activity of Brahman is not only yajan, yajan, patan, patan, dana, vitigraha, but besides that, the quality ingrained Krishna describes in 12th chapter. I'm sorry, 18th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Shama, Dama, Tapa, Shaucham, Shanti, Rajo, Mevacha, Jnana, Vijnana, Astikyam, Brahma, Karma, Svabhavajam. A Brahman is supposed to be remaining in predominant mode of goodness. Then and then these qualities can come. And Kali Yuga, where are these qualities? They have been systematically, uprooted. And when the foreign invasion comes, they will be totally. There was no rescue. But just 530 years back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared because some concern. So he was supposed to come as a Prachanna avatar. Prachanna avatar means the Lord will come without a schedule. Without a schedule. In 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to spread his own holy name, has been mentioned by Chamasi. Says, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam, Sangopangastra Parshade, Yakyai Sankirtanam Prahe, Yajanti Sumedasa. In this Kali Yuga, the Lord will come in the disguise of his own devotee. He will bear the color which is opposite to black. That is Gaurava. He will not come alone, he will come with his associates and entourage. So simultaneously, many personalities are supposed to appear. And the history of these personalities has been written down by Krishnadas Kaviraj Swami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The purpose is to yajna sankirtanam prahe. In Kali Yuga, there is only one yajna, that is congregational chanting of Hare Krishna Maha. In every Kali Yuga, the Yajurved, which has a section of Kali Santrani Upanishad in it, declares Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Kevalam Karo. That's Narada Pancharatra. But between the conversation and Brahma, Narad Muni asked the spiritual master of Brahma, what is the remedy? This is going to be a very treacherous yuga. Says, Sahovacha. Idam Sorashakam Nam Kalikal Mashanasam Nadara Partaro Sarva Vedesha Drafya. What has been described in this Yajurveda Kali Santrani Upanishad, that the 16 syllable name, if one takes shelter of the holy name through the 16 syllable, Sukadeva Goswami also says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kalau dosha nidhera. Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. Ocean. Nothing is straightforward. You can't trust anybody. But Asti Ekoma, there is only one good quality in Kali Yuga. Kirtanad eva Krishnasya. The Sangam Paramajya. Now, Kirtanad eva Krishnasya means why Krishna? There will be a question. Because we are ill-educated. We made every, even Devatas also Bhagavan. Because we don't have knowledge. Neither it was imparted. It was remaining within the books, confined only the books. Right? We become Westerners, but neither we are considered to be Westerners and we cannot imitate them. Blood is always thicker than water. So somehow or another, it has to reverberate. So Krishna so designed that the great rishis are declaring. There are many, many citations in our Shastras, Samhitas, and there are subsidiary to the Vedic authority. In the Vedas, even Krishna name is not there. Krishna Yajurveda is there. All right? But it doesn't indicate that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only Krishna has to come to teach Arjuna that he is the ultimate. So thus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to revive 530 years ago, established on the basis of the Shastra, the supreme authorized single moiety who can be called Bhagavan is Krishna. It is such a bold statement that it shook up the religious communities of India. Not their lethargical behavior. Put up the Shastra Pramanam. Chatushloki Bhagavatam says that Krishna himself reiterates. If you read Bhagavad Gita, the first thing is to establish Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Second thing, to take utter shelter, surrender to him. And how can you take shelter unless you become Manmana Bhava Mat Bhakto Bhadyani Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Satyam Te Pratijani Priyos. He had to tell his own friend Arjuna. Do you think a friend is going to believe a friend that he is the Supreme Person? Arjuna had difficulty. But when Krishna is trying to give him the proof through the manifested potency, can give the identity of the personality. When the energies of the Supreme are manifested, it shows that Supreme is existing. Potency and the potential, it has to be understood. Krishna claims to be self-potential, and his potencies are there. Potencies are so much not only attractive but valuable, that through the agency of potency, we can approach the potent. You may think, this Hare Krishna Wala, why don't they chant Radha's name? We chant Radha's name. But Radha is internal potency of Lord Shri Krishna, and especially the category Vladini Shakti. Right? Ahalad means the joyful expression of the heart is ahalad. And it is always obtained through meditating or chanting or thinking about the personality as is described. So that is Ahalad or Prahlad. Prahlad remembered and went back home back to God. This was his success only by remembrance. So in Kali Yuga, the cardinal principle is only one. Satatam smartavyam Vishnu, vismartavyam najatuchi. Sarva vidhi nishedasya. There is only one method. Always remember. Lord Shri Krishna, Vishnu, vismartavyam najatuchi. Do not let any moment to be used in forgetfulness of Him. How can you remember? When we have created our own world and we are entangled within, and our minds are hardly, stabilized. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody is struggling within the mind. Manasasthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. We can't concentrate in understanding the absolute truth. Absolute truth is one without second, and Krishna claims it. Srimad Bhagavatam claims it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasya Yata Anvaya. That is a Brahma Sutra to identify the absolute truth. Arjuna accepts Lord Krishna as the absolute truth when he got his, experience. In the same Vibhuti Yoga, 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where the manifestation of his potencies can be found, recognized, And Arjuna is desirous. How do I meditate on in your manifested potencies? And at the end he says, my dear Lord, I accept you as the Supreme Param Brahma Param Dhamam Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vigum Ahus Tvam Rusha Savarva Devarshi Nadadastata Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Bravishime Sarvat Netadutamanye Yanman with the Sikhishu. Arjuna said, I have no excuse not to accept you as the Supreme. Because all these previous acharyas, they have proclaimed you, and you are also telling yourself the same thing. So there is no controversy. We do not want to read Shastra. We want to carry on the beliefs of others who are misguiding us for different purposes. And they do not know what is Sanatana Dharma. So what a degradation of the Vedic culture. But Krishna sends his representative, the pure devotees who can re-establish this. So once you are an inquisitive student of Bhagavad Gita through different programs that they are conducting here, you are participating, you are coming to know more and more. It's not for blind acceptance. You can question. We can take you to the reference and context. It's an honest attempt to rejuvenate our lost culture. Politically in India, you see they are struggling. Even after 70 years of independence, we were still under foreign culture. That's how we advanced so much. They think it is, but we went backward. So you can understand, Krishna prepares. There's a direct intervention of Lord Shri Krishna in protecting his own dharma, the Vedic dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Yamaraj is the authority of dharma. Don't be afraid of him. Only foolish who are attached to the material nature and the karmic activities. Now, how long you are going to do karmic activity? Try to act in such a way that karma will not find you. These are the activities of bhakti. And you have to cultivate by the standard process. And this process is very scientific. Very scientific. Only those who are pious or some intelligent people, they can take. So, to come to the point of Sanatana Dharma, because Krishna claims that Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sara. In this world of material nature, where jivas are existing, jivas are my part and parcel. Right? The truth is that Krishna is concerned because the jivas are within him, they are his. So they have to obey the commands through material nature. Material nature is a thankless task. Durga Devi, she is Maya personified. How long you can sleep in the lap of Maya? She will kick you out. Mother does not allow, a grown-up son to lie in her lap. Doesn't deserve. Go to your father. Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunte jagat vikarivat. We have to come out from the clutches of Maya by holding tight the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. So approach a bona fide spiritual master, they say. That with the because such a devotee has seen the truth, he will impart you the truth. So, with that interest to put up your ultimate salvation, go and inquire submissively and serve him. He will impart you the truth because he has seen the truth. He can't bluff. So, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, three things you have to compare whether you are right or wrong. Otherwise, human mind is a devil's workshop if it is not working in the line of Shastra. They will produce demigods more. How many have worshipped Santoshima? You know. Here we go. How many worship? Kadodma પણ worship કરે છે. બધે 1962 માં જન્મ્યા. તે પેલા નહોતા સંતોષી. And in the Puranas or any literature with it, there is no mention of Santoshi. So simple manufacture, but they showing the mind of weaknesses and created a belief system threatening. You write the glorification of Santoshima 10 times and send the postcard to 10 people. Yes.
And if you don't, there's a curse.
Sure. Yes.
So fear and greed, yeah.
Nowhere you will find in other religions they are blind followers. But we are competing with Krishna, who already created, who is maintaining and who is destroying from time to time in order to smash our false ego. Do you know who is in charge of false ego? To smash? Lord Shiva. So watch out. He himself is holding mala. How many of you are holding mala now? I heard good news. How many are chanting the holiness? Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Please prove it. 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. So it is said, Kirtanat eva Krishnasya. Then why do you bring other personalities? Because you don't know? Or you have preference? Even though they are not declared as a supreme person. Nobody claims themselves like, oh Lord Krishna claims in Bhagavad Gita. Nobody has written their own Gitas. Yet, blinded by material happiness, Bhogeshwari prasakta, taya apratachetasa, vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhavna vidya. If one is engrossed in material enjoyment, prasakta means engrossed, for bhog and aishwarya, then the real knowledge will be stolen away. Apratachetasa, vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhavna vidyate. The functions of the soul will never come because their goal is undetermined. So why do we live a fake life or one which is not suggested? In this age and time where education is so much of prime importance, there are so many media coming to brainwash our children just for sense gratification. That little child was crying and mother was showing, okay, here is the mobile. You'll be happy. And really, calm down. The idea is that we are infusing an easy way out without responsibility. It's an irresponsibility. We should be aware. If these instruments are educating our infant babies, what will be the condition of the future? But in the same respect, when a pure devotee of Lord Krishna appears amongst us, you better believe he can turn the whole world upside down. Even in this complex material world where non-believers are existing, such pure devotees, they are emissaries of the Supreme Personality of God, representative. And with full faith on Guru's and Krishna's words, Prabhupada went to the West because in India, nobody has any inclination. In India, it was such a degraded situation. If you remember in 1956, Kanayal Munshi of Gujarati, he was the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, right? He was influential, Gandhiwadi and everything. His wife, Lilavati Munshi, was also pretty active in social services. And Prabhupada also was wanting to start such a movement he termed as League of Devotees, established in Jhansi, and Karnal Munshi gave him some old property to Prabhupada to start League of Devotees. He was preaching, but soon there was some political feud. Political feud was Lilavati Munshi wanted the same property that Prabhupada obtained. So it became a little embarrassing to Karnal Munshi, right? And Prabhupada is a devotee. I don't want to come between husband and wife fighting. He gave up. It is extremely hard to start the dynamism. So Prabhupada was told by his spiritual master, if you go to West and preach in English, that will be it. Lilavati Munshi started Mahila Mandal. She started Mahila Mandal. There were so many branches in Gujarat. Southern Gujarat was the prominent one. To uplift our women, because they were not doing anything except cooking and raising children. So how can you understand what will be the precarious situation encompassing the subcontinent of India, which was going into very hellish conditions. Britishers came and gave the impression that you are lower class people, but actually they were lower class. You are hearing now, but it was too late. We accepted their ways to live. We accepted their ways as standard because they brainwashed us. The Prabhupada came to put up a cultural revolution in the United States. They didn't come just to do that, but Prabhupada did it. We accepted dhoti kurta. You have your own set, dhoti kurta. See? One which is a glorious tradition has gone into a ditch. So how is it? It has to be revived now. So it's our humble service that we follow in the footsteps of our spiritual master, encourage and give them boost to do a better job. Prabhupada made 108 temples in 11 years of span. He circumambulated the whole earth 14 times. He translated so many books, 55, titles were already published at that time in about 14 languages before he left. And now it is 95 languages.
What's the secret?
In India, they glorify. Oh, look at them. All big nations are becoming Hindus. Every Hindu is not a devotee, but these are all the devotees. they will also come under Hindu, but they are not only Hindu. They are the one who makes the temple elsewhere in the foreign lands. So it's very important that we value our system, which is not bluff, but proven through Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. We have to always check if we are on the right path or not, with the help of Guru, with the help of Shastra, and the lineage of that parampara. When the parampara is broken, then there is danger. It will be difficult to retain the originality and backup connections. Unbroken chain of disciplic succession, that is called sampradaya. Sampradaya vihinate mantrate nishpalamata. The valuation of the holy name, mantra, without the backing of the authority of chain of disciplic succession, is a failure. And our Gujaratis are foremost very, very fertile in brain to imitate something, to make a quick appeal to the people.
Example.
And
Example.
example, in 1980, I came to India. My grandmother passed away, so I took a couple of weeks off from USA, where I was there, and I had an occasion to go to Haridwar, Rishikesh. I took bath for her sake. Then I also wanted to go to Vrindavan. So I came to Vrindavan in a tourist bus that goes to Agra first, Sitarban. Right? And in 1974, this was in 75. In 1974, I became life member in ISKCON. Because my, what we call, the services were there. You know, every weekend I would be there. Because it's a natural inclination. So I came to India. Then I also came to Vrindavan, but it was a 1 hour halt of the bus. All right? 1 hour only. And I had to get, for my American friend, he asked for deity of Lord Krishna to be brought. So I said, okay, I will do that. I brought it. But I wanted to visit our temple. It was under construction. So scaffoldings and everything, you can't go. The construction was ready. But our international guest house was ready. So as soon as the president is from Brisbane,
Gunnar
eh? Gunnar. The Gunnar is still here in Brisbane. He was the president of ISKCON Vrindavan at that time. And he said, oh, you are a life member. Come and stay away. We just opened up the guest house for you. You are given 3 days free to stay. Huh? I said, I left my luggage in Gujarati Samaj in Delhi. I was not planning, and I came by this bus, tourist bus. I'll take another opportunity. He said, no, Prabhupada is coming. He said, Prabhupada is coming tomorrow, so you should stay. I said, I'm fixed. You know, how can I? But so many occasions in our life also comes to participate in a very tangible, honest, and authorized. Of course, I have darshan of Srila Prabhupada next year in New York, and 76. He came in month of July. I was satisfied, but that's about it. Lavamatra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi. You do not need heaps of association with pure devotees. A fraction of seconds association is good enough to invoke your spirit and put you right on the track. It's not difficult. It is a mercy of the Vaishnavas, mercy of the devotees of the Lord. They are Vaishnavas. The Vaishnavas do not have caste or creed or color distinctions. But we were so rotten. Nobody thought anybody who comes, even you came to Tumba, one after another, the community became big. But behind your, psyche, nobody has come for the purpose of following the religion. Neither to protect, we didn't have any obligations, we thought. But Dharma is not going to give up. Krishna is not going to give up his souls. And they say, Gujaratis are pious folk, pious souls, but also pious fools. Pious souls, but also pious fools. Why? Because they accept any garbage coming. And most of the thing, have you seen a Gujarati sadhu? Anybody? Any Gujarati sadhu? Everybody comes from Haridwar in Gujarat, or Pandurang Shastri, or Dongre Maharaj. He is a Marathi, all right? He was not a Gujarati. But everybody comes from outside Gujarat and gives so much, vibrations of religiosity, dharmikta, not adhyatmik. Religiosity, but not spirituality, not to invoke. Recently they came because we have good relations with everybody, those who come. One time I flew to promote Ramayana when Murari Babu came to San Jose in California. We flew because we wanted to distribute books. And Murari Babu knew that we are here. He started on that day nothing but Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He will talk anything, nothing of Ramayana, but Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So some Gujarati said, why did we sponsor him? Why did we sponsor him? He's doing nothing but make everybody dance on Hare Krishna. It's a shock, come on. They were interested to know something of hearing Ramayana. But that is also a kind of religious fervor. They know to listen the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a pious activity by itself. So put your presence, but you are interested in talking something else. You don't pay attention. How many times people hear this Ramayana and Mahabharata of the Bhagavad Kathas? How many times? You did once. Anybody did? Several times? More than 2? Matajis are, elderly Matajis must have done several times. Bhagavad Katha કેટલી વાર સાંભળી? हाँ? इंडिया जाते हो तो सुनने को मिलता है, कहीं ना कहीं चलती होगी, लेकिन दशा क्या है? कथा सुनी सुनी फूट्या कान तो ये ना आयु ब्रह्म ज्ञान। खरो के नहीं? कथा तो पावरफुल हो, कारण के भगवान नाम पावरफुल है, तो तुम्हारा मोड़े थी पण ए पावरफुल नाम निकलવું તો જોઈએ જ કે નહીં? તો જ પછી કથાનો અર્થ સમજાય. કપિલ દેવ ત્રીજા સ્કંદ is talking to his mother Devhuti. Devhuti is a very intelligent woman, very intelligent. She was the third daughter of Manu Maharaj. Third daughter of Manu. Prasuti, Akuti and Devhuti. Prasuti was married to Daksha Prajapati, Akuti to Atre Rishi, and Devhuti was remaining. Right? But Devhuti was intelligent and she was always thinking of Krishna. But being a woman in the body of a woman, she needs protection all the time. In the childhood, she is protected by the father. When she becomes young, protected by the husband. And in the older age, she is protected by the son. This is the natural law. It has been ordained in our ideal Grahasthashram. Because there is a purpose in Grahasthashram to achieve the mercy of the Lord. And to do function vice versa that will please the Lord is to give a human body to a deserved soul. The soul is entering through the sperm and the semen of man. And the life is beginning. Srimad Bhagavatam tells everything very straightforward about the development of the body and the fetus, how the experiences are there. Everything. All the science subjects are being taught. Chemistry also. The elemental science is there. What to speak of the universal arrangement and the astrology, astronomical influences. Everything is taught. Because it's a matter of creation. So creation, sustenance, and dissolution, all three will come. There is a lineage, parampara, of the descendants of the great personalities, and their names are. Sukadeva Goswami remembers everything. He cites the name, but only for two purposes. Whether in that lineage any pure devotee was born, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead has come and took birth in order to benefit the humankind. So somehow or another, When Kardamuni was the son of Brahma, he was one of the progenitors, early progenitors. He is the ideal example. He was virtually a sadhu and detached person, always meditating. All right? Brahma's son, not ordinary. And he was realized soul. He always kept the Lord within his heart and meditate on it. He becomes so much engrossed. But being pleased, the Lord appeared before him and talked to Kardamuni. You are already in a Paramahansa stage. But I want to come as your son. Do you think Paramahansas have business to go back into Grastashram? No. But Kardamuni is saying, my dear Lord, you are my eternal Lord. I'm supposed to serve you. And I'm not doing this for my own sake. I want to please you through meditation. If you are so pleased, fine. But since you have personally come to request that you want to become my son, I will give up this style of life. You know. So this was heard by Narad Muni. Narad Muni comes and tells Devahuti, Devahuti, you are looking for a good husband, right? But this is the most ideal and beneficial to you. And when Devahuti heard that the Supreme Person is going to come as his son, why don't I take advantage of it? So she went to her father, Manu Maharaj, in Shatrupa, and she requested her father that please, I want to marry Kardamuni. So father also very much pleased with the decision. Everybody came with all the preparations to offer Devahuti to Kardamuni. Kardamuni received them because he is a great grandsire of mankind. So Kardamuni agreed to the proposal. But he went into trance meditation. And so many days passed away. Devahuti was serving Kardamuni without any complaint. But after a prolonged period, her body became emaciated and her hair and everything became jata. So many days and months passed. Devahuti was meditating on her duties as a household wife, and Kardamuni was in meditation. She did not disturb her, but she tolerated all the inconveniences. And then, when Kardamuni came to his normal status, he saw, who is this lady? He could not recognize. It took time for him to understand this is the same Devahuti. But Devahuti did not respond, but showed shyness in responding to any question. You know, this shyness is to tell Kardamuni, you were so much, carrying the Lord in the heart that you forgot everything, that we got married. And you agree that, oh, yes, I remember now. But by my yogic power, you have to regain your health back. So go in Bindusara, where Lord Shiva's assistants are there, and they will help you to regain it. So she comes back nicely, regaining her youthful and decorated state, and again stood behind her husband. And Devati was looking down, never looked up. And Kardamani says, Devati, for your pleasure, I have created a huge island and a mansion. And the mansion is surrounded by beautiful lakes and swans and everything. Come, I will show you the universe. I will take you to the tour of universe. This is the honeymoon that he was taking. They never did honeymoon. So when people get married, they go for honeymoon. Where do they go? Huh? Switzerland. Oh my God. But I have seen many people either go to Thailand or Mauritius. And
Gujarati goes to Himachal.
Himachal.
Save money space.
Manila.
Gujarati goes to Himachal to save money, he said.
Oh yeah, so social. But anyway, Kardamani took her to the tour of the entire universe and shows the planets of Brahma and this and that. So she had already a very broader vision. And Kardamani produced 9 daughters at a time. 9 daughters. Maybe in the newspaper, 6, 7. I have read one time 8 children. 8 is called opulent. 6. But hardly they survive. But Devati got 9 daughters by Kardamani. And when they returned to the place, Kardamani also got promise from Lord that after he becomes Prajapati, he will leave the house. But Devati was very, very clever. That was not her purpose. So he says, my dear Lord, you want to go away? I know it. But these 9 daughters, they will find their own homes and go away. Who is going to liberate me? I'll be stuck. No ladies are thinking of getting stuck. Because our culture has degraded, even the sons do not want to keep the parents together. Some families are there, so they have parents visiting and everything. But within India, even that's a terrible situation. So the culture has been hit by the influence of age of Kali. And one can revive our original nature or original consciousness. It's called Krishna. Consciousness means Chetana. Chetana is not produced by chemical. Chetana has been given to us by the Paramatma residing in our Atma. So there are two living entities. And if we apply the holy name, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that it will cleanse our consciousness. So we can see our face very clear. But prior to that, you get liberation. Mukta Sangasya Jayate. Then in that liberated state, if we execute our bhakti, Vishuddha bhakti, then Vidyate Hridaya Granthi Chindyanti Sarva Samshaya Kshiyante Chasya Karmani Drashta Evatmanishwar. Only in the state of pure goodness achieved through the power of the transcendental name. Transcendental names. These are not alphabets. Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. You are not vibrating alphabets. Some people think any mantra can go. So, when I came in 1980 in honor of my grandmother, I had got this Gujarat Mitra, newspaper. And there was an article by Bakul Tripathi. He was a professor in Gujarat, Surat University. So Bakul Tripathi wrote a very sarcastic approach to Bhagavad Gita words. Actually, chai is God. He wanted to. And he was quoting the verse from Bhagavad Gita. Sarvasya chaham radhisannivisto mattah smritirgnana pohanam cha vedesu sarveshu aham eva vidya vedanta krit ved videva chaham. Chah means the teeth. Krishna said cha aham. He is applying for him. And Bakul Tripathi is converting it to chai, glorification of chai. Chai is your God. If I do not take a cup of tea, then smritir gnana pohanam. Remember, realization and forgetfulness, three things come. If I don't take chai, that's why China belongs to the sarcasm was from the nature of our polluted minds. He's saying that I'm glorified in the Vedas, chai. Have you ever seen glorification of chai in the Vedas? No, but Bakul Tripathi watch it. This is called abuse of our and mockery of our religion. No Muslim can do that. It's a certain sejuda. Immediately. Right? So the idea is that we have to accept that we have been corrupted by the foreign culture. And chanting Hare Krishna will stay wherever you are. You don't have to change. But invest the holy name in your life. Please join. We have been trying to establish Toowoomba as a regular center. benefiting everyone with education. We are educating institute. But the temples are the real universities to teach everything. We don't hire Brahmanas from Haridwar to do this worship. We cultivate the qualities as it is described, Brahma Karma Swabhava, that we spoke in the beginning. Shama, Dhamma, Shaucham, Kshanti, Raju, Jnana Vijnana Astikim Dharma Karma Swabhava. So how to uplift our society and bring them out from ignorance of the reality that we'll face. However, struggle that you might be experiencing in the material world, it is going to increase, not decrease. Because this is the effect of Kali. Why not we make our self-defense system within? So nobody can shake us up anymore. It's a great asset to invest our time and the process of chanting. The whole world is, getting benefit from. And we should not be left aside as not privileged. No. So Prabhupada sent us to India just to put up. Now, India is youth, the old folks. Well, we don't need armchair, hichka par besina jhulwa mein Bhagavata Panma Ducho Javine. Fine. That is not the life. It is calling the death closer. There is no comfort. So here also, we never thought, but the religion is behind us. It is reviving all over the world, even not necessarily, but because it is applicable to everybody. Everybody is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. We are not sectarian people. Prabhupada brought this movement without any inhibition, saying this is the universal applicable. It's Sanatana. Everybody is a Sanatana part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but they think body is all in all, and that's why their entire life becomes a failure. So, anything more that? No. Any question, comments? कोई प्रश्न हो गुजराती में प्रश्न? Yes, Prabhu.
Because it's here.
Yeah, I'm there.
I just wanted to ask one question. What is the best way that we can work the Chaitanya Sankirtana movement here in Cuba and convince our ISKCON on singing Harinam and taking up chanting in our classes?
Just to let you know, Ryan Prabhu has been instrumental in starting the Harinam, and he's been doing it every week on Friday in the city. So he's
The foundation is in chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but each and every syllable has definite meaning. The way Srila Prabhupada has explained, there are three bija. So understanding the bija means the seed. The seed Hara, Krishna, and Ram. Hara is an addressing of internal potency. The manifestation of potency in personality is Radharani. But because we are also marginal potency of the Lord, Jiva. Jivera Swarupa Nityera Krishna Das, Krishna Tatastha Shakti Ved Aveda Prakash. Tatastha means marginal. Tata, beach. So sometimes it is covered by water, sometimes it is a dragon. Sometimes we are in Maya, and sometimes we are in Krishna consciousness. You came all the way, spending your time from Maya to come here. That's a great effort. Right? But as soon as you will go, be getting into it. But how can you continually, remain free from Maya? That if you are in the Yoga Maya potency that is exerted by the holy name, so always chant and be happy, transcend everything. It's a direct experience can be given. It's a stage wise also. So the holy name to be chanted and let others follow to respond. That entails Shravanam and Kirtanam. Two things. If we do this simultaneously, first Shravan and then do Kirtan. So just like I led the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and then everybody followed. That is Shravanam and Kirtan. So then and then Smaranam can be possible. So we cultivate a very systematic and scientific way of, the process of chanting. We give seminars on it, and you'll be able to understand what the Shastra says about it. So you want to spread, but at the same time, you have to talk about the dynamic nature of the holy name that helps us to transcend. So what does it mean by transcend? Transcendental energy, transcendental meditation, transcendental. To transcend means to take you out from a very solid state to all the way and the ultimate product. You don't have to change in between. Don't go stage by. It's an elevator. If you want to go step by, then yoga method will be there. But this age is not fit for yoga. Bhakti yoga is there. So yoginam api sarvesham madgatenam taratmanam saddhavan bhajate mam sarva yuktatamo mata. Out of the best yogis, Krishna is telling Arjuna 5,000 years to become bhakta. A bhakta who is abiding in Krishna is a yogi. Yoga means to connect. A bhakta is never separated from Krishna. And neither Krishna is separated from his devotee. Otherwise, if we forget that, then where is the connection? So, systematic education about the efficacy of the holy name. Giving seminars on certain subjects like Haridas Thakur, who was a Muslim, and was not educated. He resorted to the holy name and perfected his life. So the holy name is affecting everybody equally. But those who are conscious, for the effectuality of the holy name, then they will develop Krishna consciousness faster. So your efforts are there as practical, but at the same time, they should be allowed to know in details. Okay, so education, then we have so many even PowerPoint presentation about it and all these things. So with reference to context, so no bluffing. Any other question? કોઈને ગુજરાતીમાં પૂછવું તો વાંધો નથી. પૂછતા ગભરાટ થાય. તમે બધા માળા કરશો હરે કૃષ્ણ મહામંત્રની? ખાતરીની દવા મૂકેલી છે. શાસ્ત્રમાં એનો રેફરન્સ છે. આંધળું કૂટવાનું નથી, આંખો ગાડીને આગળ વધવાનું છે. પ્રોબ્લેમ તો બધાને હોય, કાળો હોય કે ધોળો હોય, પણ બધા જયારે એ લોકોને આત્મિક અનુભવ થતો હોય તો પછી શા માટે? એટલીસ્ટ an honest effort is the best. Did you understand a little bit? Oh my God.
They are triplets, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
You were speaking about, they are triplets. Kerala.
So come on.
So come on, Maharaj is asking.
Good.
Thank you once again for patiently listening to Maharaj today. And we thank Maharaj for coming here all the way amidst his very busy schedule. And Maharaj, he's going back tomorrow, but he will be back here on Saturday for the Rath Yatra. So kindly invite all of you to come for the Rath Yatra. Invite all your friends, all of them to come. This is the first time that we are doing outside of the flower festival. And we hope to make it a yearly festival here in Toowoomba. So please come. And as Maharaj, not only like, as I said before, he's not only here, but he goes all around the world. And so in spite of his very tight schedule, he has given us this time here. So as Maharaj requested, we kindly urge you to start chanting the holy name. That is the first part of the process. And it can give us a lot of benefits, both in our spiritual journey, but also in the way in which we conduct ourselves and make ourselves a better example for everyone. Thank you, Rima. And so once again, can we all give a big thanks for His Holiness Vedavyasapriya Swami Maharaj ki jai. His Vedavyasapriya Swami Maharaj ki jai. Thank you. Thank you.
Japi करेंगे. You do not know much Malayalam?
Malayalam.
You know. Japi करेंगे. Japi करेंगे. Yeah.
And so Maharaj is there tomorrow morning. So if anybody wants to have a personal audience with Maharaj, kindly let me or tell me that know, and we can arrange. So please. Again, you can talk to him now after I finish as well. So he's still available. He'll be around. You can take the opportunity to speak to him as well. Thank you. Thanks.
Holiness Vedavyasapriya Swami Maharaj ki.